All right. Here we are. It's on school time. We're a little early this week. That's because someone's busy tomorrow. So we're like, let's see if we can rearrange it. See if we can swap the day around, so that we didn't have to skip a week. And well, it worked out. So here we are. And yeah, let's just get into it. Get into Gaunt School. I don't think I have anything else to cover. Okay, so previously on Gaunt School, the party who are in the city of Marenhall and are exploring the city in order to prepare for a robbery. They plan to perform a heist on the most secure bank in all of the continent of Old Bastila. And it's not going to be an easy feat. And so they need to do some casing the joint first. And now, after several weeks, our time, not their time, of casing the joint, they finally sort of learned what the obstacles within the bank are and what they need to tackle before the night of the heist actually arrives. And so, in order to prepare for some of the things that they're going to need, they need to break into a few buildings, help out a few faces in the crowd that they met, and get what they need item-wise and ally-wise in order to make sure the heist goes as smoothly as possible. So, last time, on the most recent episode, the party, in search of something that could help them crack right through the floor in one of the vaults that's under construction in order to access a deeper layer of the vault of the bank, they sought out the expertise of one of the alchemists who works at the Ventus Alchemisium. And though they had some difficulty maneuvering the place, what with the rather strict tour that they were given, they did run into one of the alchemists who had been reprimanded for creating dangerous devices in the past. And so, communicating with telepathic messages, they managed to gauge his interest in creating something for them. And that alchemist Rourke said, yeah, he loves building bombs. And so they have asked to meet with him after dark. Then they went off to go and meet with a local thief, one of quite lofty repute, Renard. And they had run into him when he was breaking into a building, and they just happened to be breaking into the same building at the same time. And so he decided to turn that awkward moment into a potential business opportunity and gave them his card. And so, after meeting with him, he offered that if they ever did need anything simple stolen in order to advance their means, that he could do so for a rather exorbitant amount of coin. The party decided that they didn't need his services right now, but that they might come back and talk to him again later if they needed something just kind of flipped out of one of the buildings that they're trying to break into. And so, upon leaving Renard's little safe house, they set their sights on the beach, as it is now evening time, and of course, this particular evening is the Sea Lantern Festival in Marenhall, a little festival that's held on the beach every single year. And so that was where we left off as they made their way towards the beach. So that's where we will return. Shall we, everybody?
We shall.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Very well. Then let's get right into it. Wow, perfect. Right at the end of the song, man. I'm good. Perfect timing. It's absolutely planned. Yeah, I sat here before the stream and I practiced it just to time it out. You could tell that was
Rehearsed
a
it for
totally
hours.
yeah, that was rehearsed, right? You could totally tell.
Totally.
All right. So, as I said last time, the four of you make your way sort of back down out of that dark alley away from Renard's safe house and make your way south. And as you rejoin into the main street, you can see that now that the sun has set and the streets are darker, a lot of people have begun to cluster up in the streets. You can see them walking about, talking with each other, laughing and drinking. And all sorts of street vendors are set up with little stalls selling food and small trinkets and things like that. But you guys want to attend the actual festival itself, and so you weave your way through the crowd, heading for Starshine Beach, which is where the festival itself is headed. And you can see that people have stretched out sort of all across the beach, kind of all the way down the stretch of it. But you find sort of a central point of the beach, and as you're approaching, you can actually see some stuff glowing in the distance as you sort of make a break through the crowd and can see the actual sand and water. First, you see this sort of soft orange glow, and those are lanterns. And then you see a blue glow, and that's coming from out in the water. And so let me bring you there. Let's head over there. You're not on this map yet. Well, let's fix that then. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So yeah, as you approach, you see that there's these sort of soft blue glows in the water as well. And they drift lazily along the coastline in the distance. The orange glowing lanterns, there are sort of like a cluster of them sitting on the beach, and you can see a bunch of people sort of crowding around. Occasionally people will grab one and sort of move it off to their own little section. But mostly what's happening is they are one by one letting them lift off into the sky. And so you can see that high over the water in the distance, these lanterns are floating up into the night sky. The ones that are furthest away almost meshing right in with the stars high above. And so you arrive at the Sea Lantern Festival. You can see that there is a crowd sort of all across the beach, but you do spy some familiar faces amongst them. What would you like to do?
This is like all the people we have side quests for. This is crazy. The Dragonborns are here! It's wild. In the two systems. Okay, alright. What's the plan of action, guys?
Well, Kagox runs off into the water.
Well, okay.
That was
Of course. Of
Fair.
course.
Alright.
Rouge.
Cereza has to take a double take, right? Because she spots the red dragonborn and she's like, oh, phew, okay.
Just quickly, Rika, you're like a little quieter than everybody else, and I can't actually
Right.
turn you up anymore. You're maxed out.
Really?
And so, is there any way for you to turn yourself up a little bit for me?
Yeah, let me double check that.
Yeah, just a little tweak upwards. Or just like, I don't know, maybe you're far away from your mic or
Yo.
something.
No,
Yell, Rika. Yell now.
like,
Scream into the mic.
Yeah, see when you do that, it's perfect. It's like maxed out on my limiter, but when you just kind of talk, I know you're noticeably lower than the others, and I can't turn you up anymore. I'd have to turn everybody
Really?
else down and then turn the whole thing up, but I don't want to do
What the
that.
I wonder if it's because of my mic settings. Give me a sec.
Yeah, just mess with that for a sec.
Okay, is this better?
Um,
No.
keep talking.
No? Okay, bub.
Like you're audible. You're not like completely quiet. You're audible. You're a little lower than everybody else. So I was like, maybe you can bump yourself up a bit
Weird.
so that your voice isn't getting lost.
Huh. I'll have to mess with that. Because I don't know why I'm so quiet. What the heck?
Well, for now, I will turn everybody else down,
Ooh,
and I'll turn the
okay.
whole thing up.
Huh. I don't know.
And I'll just do my best to balance it.
My bad, guys.
Okay.
It's not your fault.
Ooh.
You haven't talked for a sec?
I will talk for a second as I splish splash in this nice ocean water.
Okay. That should be fine then. Alright, anyways.
Okay.
Okay, so we see Valerio. Does he look like he wants to talk to anybody, or that he just wants to be left alone?
He's leaning against one of the palm trees, kind of off along the side of the beach. There's sort of like a stretch of palms that sort of divide the beach from the street and the buildings on that street. And he's kind of just like in the shade of those palms, leaning against one of the trees. He hasn't noticed you guys yet. He's just sort of watching the rest of the festival. He's watching the lanterns slowly go up.
I mean, I feel like it's rude if we don't say hi, but also I don't want to interrupt anybody's I don't know.
I mean, it is a festival, and although we are honoring people whom we have lost, it is not a sad occasion, necessarily. I don't think it would be remiss, were we to say something to him, but it is up to you.
We have information, 'cause we have to see how he went with, trailing that lady, but maybe it's not the place to talk about all that, so,
Perhaps we just enjoy the festivities?
Alright. I've never been to this, so I don't actually know what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, it's up to you, I suppose. You can do as you wish, enjoy the beach, go swimming like gigots. There are lanterns as well, if you have someone departed.
Dana kind of like looks down and gets very solemn for a moment, and is just like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go check that out if you want to come with.
Yes, I was going to say, I do have to put in a lantern here, and if you do as well, I think it would be better if neither of us were alone in that.
She nods and then kind of loops her arm through yours, and gives you like a little pat on the shoulder, and we'll begin walking towards the lanterns.
Sarisa, you are making your way over to Roja?
Yeah. After she realizes it's not who she thought it was, she's like, oh hey, I should say hi. And she'll go over and be like, oh hi there, Roja. Oh wait, how do you say his name? I think I
Roja.
missed it. Roja. Bro.
Rosa.
Roja. She'll say, hi Roja.
He was kind of like, as you were standing kind of off to the side with the others, he was not looking at you guys. He was, well, you can guess what direction he was looking. But he like makes like sort of a startled little jump as you approach and I didn't see you there. Attending the festival then?
Mm-hmm. Me and my friend Sarius And you as well?
Yes, of course.
Can I make an insight check? He seems kind of... Does he seem jumpy? Or just nervous?
You can make an
in
insight
any way?
check,
Booyah, alright.
and
now
I'll
let's
give you his
see.
kind of general
Alright, come on.
body language.
Insight. Come on. 17, baby.
He looks embarrassed that you've caught him here. He's not like on edge necessarily. He's just a little awkward in general.
Understandable. I feel that. Roha, I feel that. She'll say, oh, by the way, we are making progress on that task of yours.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, that's good then.
Yeah, hopefully soon we'll be able to help you and that blue dragonborn. What was her name again?
Saphira.
Oh, yes, Saphira. Hehe. Is she here, by the way?
Oh, well, I wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? Instinct check.
Yeah, you can insight check it if you want, but I don't know if you need to.
Yeah, no, it seems pretty obvious. I'll do it anyways. Okay, but now don't make me look like a chump. Oh my sweet Jesus Christ. No, thank you. No! I refuse. I would like to use my inspiration. I refuse.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
He's got no idea she's here. He fully believes.
Gimme.
Ooh!
That's a 20.
You just as he says that, as he says, "Oh, I wouldn't know." You just follow his gaze across the beach towards the stall right here, and you see her working at that stall.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Cereza follows, sees her, and looks at him with this like this devious little smile, like, sure you don't.
All right. Well, I suppose. Yes, she's here. She's working at the fruit stall over there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if you're here with your friends, would it? She's selling shaved ice, watermelon flavored. I know she needs the gold. So, well, if your friends were in the mood for it, perhaps you could stop by her stall and support.
Yeah, of course. And you'll be supporting her too, yes?
Well, I've already had 4 of them.
Oh.
Oh my god!
I support him.
Oh, no. I me
He's
too.
a little
Listen, we
whip.
gotta get them
We
together.
have
my
to get them
God.
together.
Oh, my heart! It's like, oh, I see. And you talked to her, right?
Well, briefly.
I see. And she kind of kicks at the sand a little, and she's like, well, I guess I know how it feels. You know, trying to talk to somebody that you really like.
Yeah, he kind of just gives you a little nod, not quite sure what to say.
It's like, but maybe you should I don't know, try talking to her more, if that's something you want to do.
Well, I've done my best. I'm really not very good at it, but I have tried. I promise. It's just, well, she's so focused on, the monetary struggles right now that, well, it's feels wrong to talk about anything else. And she's got something so important looming over her.
Oh, guess. And Cereza kind of thinks about it, but maybe a bit of a friendly conversation would be a nice distraction.
I suppose. But perhaps it should wait till later. She does seem busy at the stall.
Yes, but if you're up to it, maybe later, of course.
Gives you like a small nod.
And Cereza's just thinking a little, and she's like, well, I'll make sure to tell my friends about the shaved ice. We'll support your lady.
Yes, if you have the means, then please do stop by the stall. I know that'll make her happy.
Oh, and speaking of, she remembers that they were gonna meet up with Camille, and she starts looking around.
You look around and you see sort of like nestled into some of the palms that are at the edge of the beach, kind of up on the higher area that you're on. Camille is just sitting by herself in the shade of some of the palm trees.
Not for long. But yeah, she'll spot Camille and be like, "Oh, speaking of friends, I spotted a friend of mine over there. So I'll be going ahead and joining her."
Yes, please go and enjoy the festival.
Right, and remember, try to talk with your crush a little more.
Yes, I'll give it a shot. I promise.
Right. Yeah, right. Cool. Okay. Goodbye then. And she's gonna scamper off.
All right. So you make your way over to Camille, but we'll put a little pause on that.
Yeah.
Leah and Anthina, you guys have made your way down towards the lanterns, and so there's sort of like a cluster of them, as I said, that are all sort of laid out. Some of them already lit, some of them not. But there's also some small tables set up nearby, where you can see people using sort of calligraphy brushes and sort of drawing on the side of their lanterns. Nearby, Rufus and Sprout from the bakery at Fer de Lavenois are writing on a lantern of their own.
Oh my god. Stop it! No. Oh, I love them so much. If I can catch their eye, I'll give them a wave, but I don't want to interrupt their obvious moment.
Rufus is like facing Sprout, so he's looking away from you guys, but Sprout sees you and she waves. And then he turns and also waves.
Yeah, I wave back.
He also waves.
Still holding the lantern in his hand. He like kind of stands up. He was kneeling down to be at Sprout's level, but he stands up, and Sprout kind of like runs her way over to you, towards you, and he follows after.
Oh.
And Sprout says, "You came for the festival?"
Yes, I mean, we wouldn't miss such a spectacular event.
Did you see the jellyfish already?
I did. I mean, they're hard to miss with their beautiful glowing and all. And they're like, she's like, oh my god, I don't know what you call it.
It's not
Anyway,
rare for jellyfish to be bioluminescent. I hope you know that.
is that the word? Oh, all right. Well, now I know. Yeah. Do you like the jellyfish, Sprout?
Yes, they're so pretty. What was the word you said? Bioluminescent? Is that why they're blue?
Yes, precisely.
She nods proudly.
Oh my god, I love her.
Leah messages Anthena and goes, "Actually, it's bioluminescent. You need to know that." But
Okay,
she does
okay.
not.
Thank you, because I would have been calling it bioluminescent the next time I use that, so I appreciate it.
Yes, yes, of course. If you need if you need a refresher course, just let me know.
Anthony will kind of look to Sprout and Rufus and be like, well, we didn't mean to interrupt anything. We're actually just coming to go get some lanterns of our own. So, you know, obviously you guys have your.
You didn't interrupt or anything. We were just about to let our lantern go.
Oh,
Are you gonna make lanterns of your own?
yes. I think we are.
Sprout takes the lantern from Rufus, and Rufus just goes, "Careful with that." And I'll be careful. And she holds it up sort of proudly to you guys and shows it off. There's writing in common on it that says Ren Smallborough.
Ah,
I hate this. This is terrible.
oh my god. Oh.
And she says, "We
And if
come
I
here every
cry.
year to light one for Mama."
Anthea kind of like tears up a little bit hearing her say that, and she's like, that's lovely, Sprout. I'm sure she really appreciates that."
If you guys are making lanterns, who are you making yours for? And Rufus just kind of like pats her head a little bit and goes, "No, Sprout. You don't have to answer that if you don't want to."
Anthea will kind of look to Leah and see if she wants to answer.
Leah, she kind of thinks on it for a moment, and then she turns to look at Sprout and she says, "Well, this year I am lighting a lantern for my father, so I'm sure that both your mother and my father will greatly appreciate the lantern."
Sprout just sort of like excitedly points over towards the table. "The brush is over there if you want to make one."
Anthea will kind of look at Leah. She's like, "Well, I mean, I want to make one."
Yes, I would also like to make one as well, I think.
Okay, we'll be right back.
He nods.
Kind of shuffle
Excitedly.
over to the table.
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle,
Shuffle, shuffle.
shuffle, shuffle.
Oh my god, I love the little family so much. Oh. Makes me emotional. Sprout's tiny. Her token is
Forgot
little.
that she should be slightly smaller.
Baby Sprout.
Baby Sprout. Alright. So can we just like is this
So yeah,
basically the
across the beach there are sort of the unlit lanterns in clusters, and so you can just find whichever sort of shape appeals to you. There are sort of spherical and box-shaped ones, and so you just sort of find one that's not lit and pick it up. And then nearby there's all sorts of brushes and sort of ink that you can use to write on the lantern, the paper of the lantern itself. And so you can see other people kind of all doing this same process. In fact, there's an orcish woman who you've seen before, who is currently writing on her own as you make your way over to the table.
Anthea messages Leah. She's like, are we supposed to make like small talk at this kind of thing? Because like I feel like awkward not talking to people that we clearly know, but I also don't want to be like the weirdo that's just coming up to everybody at the on our, past people festival.
Well,
So
you don't have to make small talk if you don't want to. It's sort of a everybody does their own thing kind of evening. But it's up to you. I mean, nobody's going to get mad if you want to talk to someone. I'm sure that she wouldn't get mad if you talk to her, but it is up to you.
I don't particularly want to have a conversation with everybody, but I also don't want to just ignore the fact that I know people, you know?
Yes, well, you're not ignoring them. You're just enjoying the festival on your own.
The orcish woman who has been just kind of glancing at you guys, and you guys are just staring at the table for 4 straight minutes, not doing anything else. She just looks up at you guys and is like, is it your first time at the festival?
Guilty. Yeah, it's mine.
Aren't you those troublemakers from earlier?
Well, I mean, I don't know if would we define ourselves as troublemakers?
Trouble?
Well, you did throw
I
that
don't
fellow
think
into the moat.
I'm not,
I
well,
tend to believe that was
It's all right. Like I said, it's all right. He had it coming, but again,
That's true.
you just get that one. Don't go causing any more trouble.
We certainly will not. Don't have to worry about us.
No promises. Just kidding. I promise.
She like
But if it is your first time, then can I help you with anything?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's pretty self-explanatory. Just kind of, draw or write whatever we want on the lanterns. It's just a bit, I don't know, not overwhelming, but
Hmm.
you know.
Well, the local custom is to write the name of a loved one on it. Typically, we write their full name, first and last, and then you let it off into the sky. And when you look out over the ocean, the lanterns and the jellyfish and all that, it's like an entire sea of stars. And we say that the lanterns go up to join the stars. And so when you light one for the first time, people think of that as sort of, well, I suppose, letting go, watching a loved one go and join the stars to watch us. And every year after that, if you've already lit your first lantern, then sometimes you'll write messages to your loved ones to send it up to speak with them, if you will.
That's really beautiful, actually. Thank you for explaining it. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna get to work on mine. And she just kind of starts to very awkwardly like write on the lantern.
Yeah, she just nods and goes, yes, by all means, don't let me keep you. And she kind of takes a few steps back to handle her own lantern.
Is Leah also writing on a lantern?
Leah is writing on the lantern. But she's not writing. She is currently drawing a fish on the side of the lantern.
Aww.
It's very anatomically correct.
Whoa.
Surprisingly well drawn fish.
She's an artist.
When she's an artist. But she hasn't written a name yet.
Mm-hmm. I want to give everybody else a chance to tell.
Yeah, everybody else. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you guys spend some time doing that. Kgox, you still splashing around the water?
Kgox is looking out. How far can he see?
Well, it's just endless ocean.
Okay. How far out could he wade to be like waist deep in the water? He's a big guy, so.
Wasted would be about like that far.
That far? Okay.
Next to the bird.
Oh, touch the bird. Touch it.
I'm gonna go about that far.
Okay, there
And-
are actively jellyfish swimming by.
Okay. I've never seen jellyfish.
Get stung, K-Gonks, please.
But I'm just seeing how far I can see. Because I can't see home. No matter where I've gone, I can't see home. And I guess I'm just staring directly out into the sea. Hoping that the lanterns, like, illuminate something, anything.
Yeah, so what you can see is sort of like a stretch of ocean and the waves gently sort of rocking in. Around you, the jellyfish all kind of swim. They do seem to kind of give a wide berth to people, just sort of drifting around them lazily through the water. And so they sort of light up parts of the water near the shore. And so that's kind of about as far as you can see. But everything beyond that, the waves just sort of fade away into the black of night. But in the sort of span between that, there's this sort of almost illusion that's created across the beach, because all throughout the water are these glowing jellyfish, which in the black water look like stars. And then in the blackness along the horizon line are these lanterns floating. And in the dark of night, they look like stars. And then high above you, all the way up, are the actual stars. And so as you wade out into the water alone and the shore kind of fades from behind you, you feel as if you are just in a sea of stars. That's it. That's all that's in front of you.
I'm going to close my eyes and turn my head upward. And I'm going to try to just turn off my senses and just be. I just want to be in the water and make it feel like home.
Yeah, the water's warm, even though it's sort of faded to night. And the air is a little cooler. The water is still that kind of tropical warm.
Yeah.
You do see bobbing, the only other thing that's accompanying you this far out in the water, you do see bobbing gently along the waves, a pelican. And the pelican is actually looking up and sort of watching the same thing that you are. Just sort of gazing out at this illusion, this kind of perfect blanket of multicolored stars.
I have a... it's probably a really silly question, but do the stars feel like home?
Ooh.
Well, as far as consideration for how someone who lives in this realm would think, you would consider the very ground beneath your feet to be one of the stars. As people don't say globe or planet, they say star, right?
Yeah.
And so I would say that as you stand here sort of like in the middle of this expanse, it sort of simultaneously makes you feel, maybe for the first time in your life, small. But at the same time, you realize that all of those stars out there are just like you. And so at the same time, it does feel familiar. Everybody's small.
Everybody's small.
And there's some comfort in that.
I take that comfort and I place my hand on my heart and I add more salt to this water.
Oh my god. What? That's so dumb. Would you say that?
Yeah, so quietly in your own private sea of stars, you shed some tears, Kegok. The only one to witness it, a delicate little pelican who's drifting along on the water just like you. And if you don't mind, we can quickly switch over to Cerise now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ooh,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, give me a sec.
That's okay.
Ooh, okay, no, I'm good.
So we're stepping back a little bit in time, because you walked over here as everybody else is doing their stuff. But you make your way to Camille, who is kind of sitting, her knees kind of up close to her chest, and not looking at you as you walk up. Though she does sort of, with a little bit of a start, kind of turn towards you, jumping slightly as you approach. But she kind of softens back a little bit as she recognizes you. But as she does turn to face you, she looks like she's like standing in execution row. She's like pale white, and she's got like bags under her eyes. She looks awful.
Oh my god. And Cerise's first like, hey Camille. Oh my goodness, you are you alright?
Oh, I'm all right. It's don't worry about me. Just you can go and enjoy the festival. I don't want to bring down your mood at all.
Cerisa then promptly sits next to Camille.
She kind of looks away for a moment, but you see like a little bit of like a mirthful chuckle on her lips as she kind of just. All right. I suppose you can sit with me if you want to.
That's right. I do plan to sit here. We were all supposed to meet up, and that's what we're going to do.
Right. I completely forgotten that we did say we'd meet up at the festival.
And Cerisa kind of like sitting there and looking at her. Can I like? Oh, you already said she just looks like absolute heck, right?
Yeah.
Cerisa will kind of twiddle her thumbs. Be like, "Do you want to talk about it?"
She sort of like drops her knees a little bit. She had them kind of like pulled up to her chest, but she lowers them a little bit just to kind of like scooch over to let you sit on the sand with her. But as she does that, you notice that she's got a lantern in her lap that's not lit, and there's nothing written on it.
Oh.
Well, I don't really know what to say.
Did something happen?
You mean today? No, not anything today, no. I apologize. I get like this every year.
Oh.
Like I said, I really don't want to bring down the mood, so please feel free to go and enjoy the festival. There's food over there. Did you see the food?
I did, but well, I know you say you don't want to bring down the mood, Camille, but and Cerisa looks at her. We're a team, aren't we?
You catch like a flicker of a smile across her mouth as you say that to her, and then she kind of laughs and looks like a little bit embarrassed as well. I suppose you're right. I'm not used to working in teams. You got to understand.
I see.
But And she looks like she's sort of like trying to force herself to say something. I suppose we are a team, and teams are supposed to be able to trust each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means I shouldn't just bottle everything away.
Teresa will think for a moment, and she'll look out at the ocean. She'll say, you know, I might have mentioned him before. You might have heard me talk about him, but Ulrid has always, been by my side ever since I could remember. And we've been a team for as long as I could remember, too. And, well, I can say it's nice being able to have somebody to talk to and yet who you can rely on.
She stares like kind of wistfully off into the ocean at the jellyfish and just says, it is nice to have someone to talk to.
So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you want to talk, we're a team now, and I'll be here to listen.
You're right. You're right. Forgive me for climbing up like that. I suppose. Well, the reason that I get like this every year is that, well, I'm trying to find something to write. I always come down here, and well, I want to light lanterns. For my mother and my father. But the problem is I never knew them. I don't even know their names.
Teresa actually sits up a little. She's like, really? Well, I guess we have something in common then.
Is that so?
Yeah. I was brought to the orphanage where I met Ulrid at a very, very young age. I don't even remember what their faces look like anymore.
I'm the exact same way. It sort of hurts, to not be able to conjure even an image in your mind.
Yeah. I guess it does. Well, I guess for me, whenever I try to think about them, I end up thinking about the people I know now. My my father who adopted me, the people at the orphanage who were there for me, and Ulrid.
You're right. It's good to not dwell on the past, but every year I come to the beach, and every year I've got nothing to write on my lanterns. Everybody writes their names of their loved ones, and I just sit here and I write mom and dad, and then I crumple it up and I throw it away.
Why's that?
Well, everybody's got a mom and dad, so if I just write that, then how's it actually going to reach them?
I don't know, but I mean, isn't it worth a try?
I suppose, but, well, the way that everybody describes the festival, they let the lantern go into the stars, and that's their loved one joining the stars in the sky. But if I just write mom and dad, then what if it doesn't work?
Cereza will look at her hands and she'll think for a moment. And she'll contemplate. And she'll start to say, well, you know, I feel like I understand in a way the what if it doesn't work? What if something goes wrong? And well, I think even though I've only known you and the others for a short time, I think I still think about the what ifs, but I think it's okay to just try. Even if things don't work out, I think it's better to try. You know?
I suppose you're right. I just every year I come here and then just sort of lose the strength to do it.
Well, this year you have us. And we can, me and you, we might not remember our parents, but we should still light a lantern, I think.
I suppose if I have you lot here to stop me from backing out, then maybe I could do it this year.
Yeah, we're a team after all. And we're here to back each other up. Because that's what people in a team do. They back each other up and they help each other and they're there for each other.
I suppose you're right. Thanks, by the way. I've not really talked about this with anyone. I've never really told anyone that I do this every year. Not even...
Not even...
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Oh. Well, you say so. Cereza will kind of sit there. And she'll... thinking.
Yeah, Camille's sort of like turning the lantern over and over in her hands, just kind of lost in thought.
Yeah. Cereza's thinking about something. She wants to ask Camille something, but she decides it can wait till later. And so Cereza will sit up and brush the sand off of her, and then she'll hold her hand over to Camille.
Yeah, she takes it, and you help her up, and she kind of brushes the sand off of her maid uniform that she's still wearing.
Still wearing that maid uniform.
Listen, she doesn't have any other clothes.
Aww.
I know a great clothing shop. We should take her.
Aww. Clothes shopping! Clothes shopping for Camille!
Beach episode, shopping episode.
Yeah. Yeah, and Cereza actually doesn't let go of Camille's hand. And she's like, well, this is my first time at this festival, so I'm hoping you can, guide me along.
I suppose, did you want to light a lantern yourself?
I think I will.
You walk with Camille sort of back towards the other lanterns. And so this is sort of where we catch up with everybody.
Cute! Oh my god! Ah. Sorry. Getting cute aggression.
From Sprout.
From Sprout, and I'm sorry, Camille and Cereza holding hands and being cute.
Oh yeah, that's adorable. Oh.
And so you make your way over to where the unlit lanterns are and the calligraphy brushes. And Camille like reaches out towards one, and then she like stops, and you can see that her hand's shaking a little bit.
Ooh.
Would I notice that?
Yeah.
Okay. I look up at her and I give her a very warm smile and I give her a bardic inspiration. Not so much for the plus 1d6, but for the inspiration.
Very well. So you guys were similarly getting lanterns. Have you guys written anything on yours?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. Leia, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
No, you can go. You go.
Anthena kind of puts her little brush down, looks down at her lantern, and she's like unsure if she did it right for a second, but just decides to like stop overthinking it. And then, so hers says, of course, Captain Lucian Goldheart, with a little heart next to the golden heart, sorry. And then at the bottom, what she's kind of trying to cover up, like if you're looking at it, like she kind of put it in the little, the bottom little edge of the lantern, like on the side. It just says, with love, comma, Anthena. And she holds it and waits for Leah to be done. And also Cerisa and Camille now, so they can let them go together.
Cerisa, are you making
Yes.
a lantern for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Are you writing anything on it?
Yeah. Like Cerisa says, she doesn't remember her parents' name, so she writes Mom and Dad, and then underneath that, she writes, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, Camille like watches you do that and then like sort of clenches her fist for a second, then grabs her own brush and begins to also write Mom and Dad.
Yeah. Can Cerisa take a peek at what she's writing, or would that be rude? Ooh.
She doesn't write anything. She just writes Mom and Dad.
Aww.
Meow! Leah.
Leah?
Sorry, I was blowing my nose. Sorry,
Allergies, right?
Combination. Leah is still drawing very anatomically correct fish. She's kind of filled up almost the whole lantern with fish at this point. There's like a section of it that's empty, but she's ignoring it and is continuing to draw fish to the point where they're like almost overlapping each other. But she's drawing some fish. She's fishing.
She's fishing. She's ocean fishing.
Yeah.
Level 90.
Level 9, level 100.
Level 100.
She's level 100 for sure.
So is that all then?
Fish. That's
Fish?
fish. Yep.
Very well. So yeah, you all finish your lanterns then.
Swag.
Is there like I'm assuming it's like candles that we use to light them?
Yeah.
Okay. I wish I had a cool cantrip to do this, but I don't.
Aww.
Does Leah? Nope. Alright.
Wait, do I?
Also, Leah scribbles something very small at the bottom of the lantern, but is hiding it. Gee.
Dude, can I sacred flame that?
Oh my god!
Sacred flame the lantern!
Set the entire fucking lantern on fire.
No, I'm joking.
Flame effigy.
I don't think that's gonna end well.
Fair. Yeah, so you each take a moment to light your lanterns then.
Yeah. Cerise's gonna look around though and ask, Hey, wait, where's Kagok at?
What, he was in the.
Oh,
Can we
he
see him?
was
Can we see him
out
far out in the
there.
water?
The water is lit up, so yeah.
Oh god, did he get stuck in the riptide?
Oh no.
Can I go swim diagonal? Diagonal to the shore.
Kegox,
Oh.
if there's a fish biting you, you can kick it. I won't be offended. I promise.
I'm assuming he cannot hear any. How far? Can I message
I mean,
Kagok?
it's not that far.
He doesn't have big
Does he
ears.
hear our yelling?
I imagine he would. It's up to him. Like,
Yeah,
physically,
yeah,
he would, but it's up to him as to whether he's paying attention.
He hears it. He's lost in thought.
Alright, if I notice he's not responding, I'll just send a little message. The range is 120 feet, I'm not cheating. That's just like, hi Kikox, we made some lanterns, and we're gonna go, light them and set them off. I don't know if you wanted to make one for whoever, but obviously you don't have to, just to let you know. But if not, enjoy the water and that bird that's out there. Okay. And you get that telepathically in your head.
Is he able to respond to that? I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Mhm.
Okay.
Once the message channel's open, yes.
There's a long period of silence, and you figure that maybe he didn't, care to respond, but he thanks you, and you see him like turn his head to look back at the lanterns, and he says, I can't write.
Well, that's okay. We can teach you, or we can do it for you. You don't have to be able to write. You can. We can help.
And he slow turns in the water and like wades his way back to the beach. He was told diagonal, so I guess he's gonna go diagonal.
How you avoid the riptide? But I mean, are we working with the riptide? What's?
Not really, no.
All right, never mind. As you get up and come out of the water, you see Anthena gives you a big smile and kind of like waves you over. And we'll like turn her lantern around so you can see, what we're doing.
How well lit is the area? How well lit is the area? I know they've got lanterns and stuff, but like, I'm just asking, like, how well can they see his face?
It's decently well lit. You're walking towards the cluster of lanterns, which is probably the brightest spot on the beach.
There are deep streaks of where tears had been along his face. And probably for the first time, you guys are seeing him just like tremble.
Do you want to light a lantern, Kego?
Yes.
Well, there's lots of unlit ones over there. You can pick whichever one takes your fancy.
And he walks over, and he's looking at them like he doesn't know which one to choose, and like he makes his way over here, and he's looking, and he looks to Sprout, who he's just realized is here.
Yeah, Sprout kind of like was busy talking to her dad, but she notices you as you're kind of wading through the water and is excited to see you, and she says, "You made it to the festival as well. Are you picking out a lantern?"
I need some help. if you would help me.
Ooh, yeah, I can help. And she kind of like starts to run around the lanterns. It's kicking up sand a little bit. She's running through all the unlit ones looking for whichever one she wants.
Could you help me find one for my son?
Yeah, she kind of like pauses for a second and then she looks up at you, and even though she's really young, she's kind of experienced that same pain. And so she just kind of quietly just gives you a little nod and then resumes to looking for a lantern. And she kind of wades, like tiptoeing over them to avoid stepping on any of them. She wades through the little sea of lanterns and finds like a little one, sort of the smallest one in the bunch, and brings it back and holds it up proudly to you. And she says, I really like this one, so maybe your son would too.
With his great big hands, he cradles this lantern as if it is the most fragile thing in the world. This is a good one. Thank you.
She nods proudly, happy that you're satisfied with her choice.
And he goes back to the table, staring at the supplies, and he's watched everybody else do something with it, and he just looks confused and lost again.
Camille kind of picks up on that, the hesitation to write anything, and she says, we're writing the names of the loved ones that we want to release to join the stars in the sky.
Can you show me?
Well, I can help, yes. You just have to tell me what to write.
And he hands over the lantern. My son is named Rothan. And my love, her name was Dispri. I do not know how it is spelled in your tongue.
Well, honestly, I'm not exactly writing exactly my parents' name either. But as Teresa said, I suppose all that matters is that we get close, right?
Cerisa is very wise in that way, yes.
And I'll do my best to write it in our tongue.
Thank you. And they thank you also.
She gives you a little nod and she writes out the names that she was given. And then kind of very gently hands you the lantern back.
And again, he just holds it like it's the most fragile thing in the world, as if it's a very thinly shelled egg.
There's candles here if you want to light it. Ours are already lit.
And he nods and he tries to maneuver a candle in there, and he gets it set up to as close to what everyone else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably hard because of how big his hands are and how small the lantern is. But he does whatever he can. obviously accepting any help that might be offered.
Yes, no, I was gonna say, like, I will gladly help, but I also didn't want to take it away from him if he wanted to.
No,
Yeah.
no. Like you see him like his big hands are trembling because he doesn't want to screw it up.
Yeah, we absolutely helped. And
We will
Tina kind of
assist.
runs to that side of the table and is like, "Hey, Fox here. I can hold it, or you can hold it, and Lee and I can put the candle in."
He passes it to any one of you who offers to take it to assist because he trusts you. He trusts you all. And Kagok smiles.
So all of your lanterns are now lit, and Camille kind of looks around tentatively at the four of you and says, "Shall we do it together then?"
Yeah. If you know what people say is true, then I'd like to believe that all of our people are going up together.
And so you all kind of line up with the water kind of gently brushing against your feet along the coastline, each holding your own lantern. And you can already feel from the warmth of the lantern and the little light inside it. The lantern itself feels a little lighter. The warm air coming from the flame already beginning to kind of tug it gently away from your fingertips. And so Camille kind of like swallows nervously and looks at the four of you, not really able to bring herself to say, "Let's do it."
Kagox says something because in his culture, when someone passes, you say something. He speaks to the lantern as if it can take the message for him. I have a new family now, but I have not forgotten you. The stars will carry me back to you. He lets go.
And your lantern drifts away, high up into the sky. Sarisa,
Yep. Excuse me.
you can feel your lantern already lighter, tugging away from you as you hold it in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Cereza must have got some sand in her eye, but she's got big old tears falling down her face, and her lip is all wibbly. And she just says, "Oh, thank you for having me, Mom and Dad." And she'll take Kagox's example and speak at the lantern and say, although you're not here, I will say that Fortuna has really blessed me. And I have very good friends and family. So you don't have to worry about me. And she'll let go.
And so your lantern too drifts high up into the sky to join the stars. And Thena, with your lantern lit, cradled gently in your hands, what do you do?
Well, having heard everybody else's things, and Tina's already like slightly crying. Just, she's an empath, you know. But
Do not say that.
she looks to her lantern, and she kind of not drops her voice, but just kind of you know, make sure that she's not her kind of normal, loud, projecting self. And she says, "You were my best friend, my light, my inspiration, and the first one to ever truly see me. And I will never forget that, and I will never forget you. I promise." And she kind of like touches her head to the lantern, and then as she lets it go and slowly float above, she kind of reaches to her neck, and she's had this necklace on that's been kind of tucked inside her blouse, so you guys haven't actually seen the end of it. She kind of pulls it out, and it's not at all impressive. It's just like a piece of twine that is wrapped kind of around this very almost dull piece of sea glass. It's this like greenish blue color, but obviously it's very well worn. And so she grips it in her hands and just fully starts to cry, but will kind of lean into everybody else as her lantern floats up.
And so your lantern too, just high upwards to join the stars in the sky. Leo, your lantern is gently nestled in your hands. What do you do?
So, Leah's just kind of holding it, just staring at it, and she looks at you, Anthena, and she says, "Anthena, I can't do it.
You can't let go?
I can't. And I know I have to. But I can't."
She'll kind of lean, you know, kind of against your shoulder. She puts her hands over top of your hands and holds the lantern, helps you hold it down. And she goes, "Letting this go, it's not letting go. Not truly, not ever. People don't leave. You know, the ones we've lost, the ones we love, they never leave, even if they are no longer with us. And this doesn't mean that your father," and then she'll kind of turn to everybody, or any of these people that we're honoring, it doesn't mean that they're leaving our hearts or our minds or our memories. It just means that we are honoring them, and we're giving them a place in the stars and a way to look down on us. So it's gonna be okay." And she kind of like will keep her hands on your hands and try to help you in pushing it up, but not before you're ready. She won't force you, but she'll kind of lend her strength.
So Leah kind of looks down at this lantern that she's absolutely covered in anatomically correct fish drawings. And she turns it with trembling hands to the one side that she hadn't drawn fish on. And there's a name that's written in very sloppy Ikamuran. It's not great. It's really bad, but she tried. And she kind of looks down at the lantern and says, "I know that you were not the one who gave birth to me," which that makes sense because you would not been I know you are a man, but the parents that I had before I found you, I cannot remember. And even though I'll never see you again, and I see you in everything, he, I, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm going to get you there. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it sooner. And she, lets go of the lantern and just kind of pushes it, like, away.
And so your lantern too drifts upward to join the stars in the sky. And so all of you have released your lanterns one by one off, and they all sort of sail up in that cluster together. But Camille is still clutching hers. Cerisa, you're standing next to her, and she's got sort of like white knuckles on it. And seeing that you've all sort of let go, she kind of looks down a little bit and says, well, I don't really know what to say. I've never really gotten this far before. Usually I run away. But I suppose now that I've got people here keeping me to it, it's a little easier.
I wanna shuffle down. Shuffle down. Close the gap.
Mom, Dad, I know I don't know your real names, and I don't even know what you look like, but, well, if I have any good parts in me, I like to imagine that was from you. And I thank you for that. And I promise that even though I'm just writing Mom and Dad, I will learn. We'll learn your real names. And then I'll come back and I'll write them down for real that time. But for now, this is all I can do. And you see her hands are shaking, and Cerisa, you can tell she's trying to let go of the lantern. And you can see that now tears are sort of streaking down her cheeks. And she laughs a little bit and says, my hands won't let go. And Camille is going to make a Constitution save.
Oh, stop!
With
Pardon?
a d6 added to it.
Yes!
Can Cerisa give her guidance?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, give her guidance.
Just
Grant.
this once. Just this once, I'll let you do it. Since it's not a true save.
Okay.
All right. So total, she got an 18 with your rolls, and so even though her hands are still shaking, and she's as white as a sheet, and just openly sobbing, she finally lets go, and the little lantern drifts up, sort of catching up with yours, and carried along by a current of wind, drifts high up into the sky, as all 5 lanterns get smaller and smaller into the distance until they are indistinguishable from the twinkling of the stars high overhead. And so you stand there and watch them go for a good long time. Nobody really knowing what to say, but everybody still sort of understanding what's unsaid. And soon, your lanterns, just like the others, have drifted so far that they are now just a part of the sky. And so one by one, you each turn your gaze away from the ocean and back towards the festival around you.
Anyone for food?
Okay.
I could eat.
I'm a little hungry as well.
Camille wipes tears away from her eyes. I am a little bit dehydrated.
Everyone's messed up. Oh my
Drink the seawater.
No, don't drink the seawater. It'll make it worse. No, okay, no.
Gigax, no!
No.
Kagox goes into the water and he gets a big trunk full of it. And then he looks back and he sprays it on everybody.
Oh my god. Anthena will jump in the water and start to splash you with, not as efficiently because she doesn't have a trunk, but
Camille just
It's
sort of
really
like
trying.
laughs. Her eyes are still puffy and she's got like all of her mascara running down her face, but she just sort of laughs and says, I join you if well, this is my only change of clothes.
girl, we've got to get you some new stuff. I know a great clothing shop. We can take you there tomorrow or whenever. That's where I got this dress. It's got a lot of pockets.
Is it now a wet dress?
Just a bit. It's fine. It'll dry.
Good. And I splash you again.
Oh my god. Now you've done it. Now you've really done it.
Oh. And Kagox like scampers like Sarisa through the water.
Gonna make an unarmed attack roll on Kiga.
Oh.
Whoa.
Camille just kind of watches you guys and just laugh.
I elect to fail any rolls to allow myself to be tackled or tripped
Yeah.
or whatever.
You will, yeah. She'll attempt to kind of like tackle you into the water, but I'm really not sure she has the strength nor the momentum to move you like even an inch. So
Oh no, he lets it happen. He lets it
okay,
happen.
yeah.
But you're coming with me.
Leah is swimming.
Oh my god, this is just like the drawing on the map. We predicted it.
We predicted it.
Is our big octopus out there saying woo?
Yes.
But yeah, Leah, you swim out a little bit and you can see the jellyfish all still swimming around. You, as someone who would kind of probably already know this, know that this is sort of their natural migration path. And that's why they pass by here annually.
That's pretty cool.
Leah,
Leah
please
makes
don't
that
get
mental
stung. I don't know
It's
if the
quite
magic
alright.
to heal you for that. I'm not sure, so maybe
That's
don't.
alright. I have handled many a jellyfish in my time.
Okay.
I don't think the stings could do anything to me at this point, honestly.
That's so ominous. What does that mean?
That
It
is
means
very
that I was a
ominous.
stupid child. I was very stupid.
It can't hurt me anymore.
It can't hurt me in a way that
The
matters.
poison can't hurt me. I am immune.
I pull Cerisa into the water.
And Thea laughs. Like,
Someone grab Camille.
no, Camille doesn't want to get wet. That's her only clothes.
We're gonna get a new one. It's fine.
Yeah, well, true, but I don't want to.
Leo will use Mage Hand to gently flick water at Camille. Very gently.
She doesn't get mad. She just laughs.
See, now she's in on the fun.
Cerisa's very small, right?
Yes.
Compared
Very-
compared to Kegok, she is very small.
Very much so.
Can I like playfully yeet her into the water?
Oh my god.
Like, can I just like grab her like bridal carry and then just yeet?
I mean, if Cerisa doesn't resist it, yeah.
She will squirm.
But do you resist? Squirming is not necessarily resisting.
Yeah, you
No.
can like soft resist where you don't make a roll, or you can like actually try to roll out of it.
Nah, she'll be squirming and be like, Kagux, Kagux, no. Kagux, Kagux, Kagux. What are
You're
you
going
doing?
right about there. You're going right about there.
Yeah!
Just Mario Bowser throws you.
Yeah, like over the head, like WWE.
It gives you the giant swing.
So long, Teresa.
Can Cerisa swim? Because if she can't swim, I will go get her. But if she can swim,
You know what? I've been trying to decide this whole time. Can Teresa swim? I mean,
Well, where you were thrown, your feet can definitely touch. So
okay. But
not
don't
an
worry,
issue, but
guys.
it's up to you if Cerisa can swim.
I
You
don't
in
know.
Urhalai is a coastal city, so
Okay.
you'd have access to
so,
water.
She can doggy paddle if she really needs to.
okay, I didn't throw you deep enough for it to be that extreme. So, but I will help you out if you need to.
And she'll be like, "But I swallowed the salt water." And she's like trying to make her way out. And she did in fact swallow some salt water.
Oh no!
And then she will immediately start trying to splash Kagux.
Oh, he is infinitely splashed.
Yeah, so you guys spend some time splashing about in the water, just sort of enjoying yourself after the emotional events of the festival. Paying no mind to anybody else who's just kind of eating food at the festival or relaxing on the beach. Camille just sort of sits back and watches you guys on the sand. She's got kind of parts of her dress already trailing in the water, since when you guys are splashing around, you did splash her too, so she's already a little bit soaked.
Sorry, Camille.
But she doesn't seem to care. She's just sort of like quietly watching you guys splashing around and just laughing to herself. But as you guys sort of wind down from your roughhousing and playing mermaids in the water,
We
and
love
things
playing
like that,
mermaids.
We love playing mermaid.
We love
you
mermaids.
guys, you guys kind of pull yourself back up onto shore, and do what you wish with the rest of the festival. Or if you've had enough, you can depart.
We gotta get that shaved ice though.
I
guys.
want watermelon ice, bro.
Yeah,
Shaved ice.
dude, that sounds so good. But yeah, Ceresa's like, "Bleh. Okay, I don't want any more salt water in my mouth. Instead, how about," and she points at the stall, "I heard from somebody that they're selling shaved ice, watermelon flavored."
I don't even know what that. Well, I know what a watermelon is. I've never had shaved
Oh,
ice, but that
this is-
sounds delicious.
It's good. The watermelon flavor is delicious.
I
I recommend it.
also. Wait. Okay, so that's like that's the dragon that we need to like. He needs to woo over, right? So maybe we could get like some insider information.
Yes.
You know, be like, hey, looks like Roja's over there. You should maybe go talk to him. I don't know, you know?
I will say he has bought 4 shaved ice already from her.
Oh my god.
Perhaps it
It
should be
has to
5.
move, honestly. It's, yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't seem. He seems shy. I guess I can relate though.
Strat is always to just keep talking to a person until they notice you. That's how it works. And they won't find you annoying at all.
Is it?
It's the secret. Perhaps we should get Valerio a bit of the shaved ice. Maybe he'd want some.
Ooh, I'll. Yeah, wait, let me ask. And I'll, like, very, very, very big, like, wave my arms over my head, and then, like, as in a wave to Valerio, and I'll just be, like, in his head, kind of, like, way too loud, because she's, like, trying to put the sadness behind her, and goes, do you want watermelon ice? The shaved, what do they call it? Whatever, the stand thing. We're all gonna get shaved ice.
He kind of like is a little bit like taken aback by you shouting across the festival towards him, and he kind of like scratches the back of his neck a little bit and says, just sort of embarrassed to be part of the spectacle of somebody yelling so loud, and then just I suppose if you're getting some, I won't say no.
She gives a thumbs up.
Leah orders 6 watermelon shaved ices.
Is that how many people? Yeah, 6. Yeah, okay. Good math, Leah.
Yeah.
I
She's
help
holding
you.
it to her
I help you
back.
carry that.
No, she's holding her back like, I will pay if there is
No.
money involved. You will not. Stay back.
Yeah, actually, as you walk up, before you like place your order, as you walk up, Saphira recognizes you guys, and says, "Oh, hello. Here to enjoy the festival."
Enjoy is a word for it. But yes. In a cathartic way, I suppose. How are you doing?
Oh, well, all right. I'm just trying to fill off the last of the watermelon that I grew. It's really all I've got left to sell now that the crystal berries are well. We spoke about that already.
We're
But
working on it.
yes,
we promise.
you all were so kind of promised to help me. I can get you some watermelon shaved ice on me since you're helping me.
Tell her no.
No,
Whispers.
we couldn't possibly. Especially, I'll tell you what. We pay for the shaved ice, and in return, once we manage to get your fruit growing, you give us a little bit on the side. But we're paying for this ice. You can't stop us. I will throw money at you
Oh,
Don't.
violently.
No, not violently.
all right. There's no
Not
need
painful.
for no need for tossing coins around. They might get lost on the beach. But you insist on paying it, I suppose so. And yes, if I'm able to replenish my crystal berries and have them grow properly, then of course you can take some.
No.
Wonderful. How many shaved ices do you have left?
She kind of looks towards this like big bowl that she's got, and it's full of sort of like a big hard like slab of ice, and she begins to like take a hammer and chisel away at it, and she chisels away until there's just crushed ice, and then as the sort of larger chunk has been crushed, she spoons out some of the ice into little glasses for each of you, saying, "How many is in your party then?"
6, if that's all right.
And so she gets 6 little sort of wooden bowls and puts ice in each of them. And then when she's done with that, she just kind of like waves her hand over the now crushed giant bowl of ice, and it just freezes solid into a slab again.
Whoa,
So cool.
that's so cool.
Ice magic. Right?
Leah, you
Ice
you
magic
can do
is
ice
cool.
magic. Yeah.
Yes, I can do ice magic, but it is always
It's-
interesting to see.
It's really all I can muster, but I suppose it suits the purpose for the festival. It is hot on the beach. But here you go. And she starts to sort of. She's got this concentrated, almost syrup that she's boiled down from watermelon, and she mixes it into the ice and then hands each of you a bowl, handing 2 of the extra ones to you guys.
Leah will take a second one, and she'll turn to the group and go, I'm gonna go give Valerio his. Athena, take my coin purse, will you? You're not paying. Take the coin purse. Take it.
Okay.
And she's like violently like waving her hip at you where like her coin purse is hanging. She's like, take it. Take the bag.
And Dana like takes it and holds it like it's like a live weapon. Like she's got it like out in front of her. But we'll count, or she'll be like, so how much for all 6?
Well, just a gold each, so 6 gold total.
Okay. She'll take 3 gold out of out of Leah's,
See
and then
you.
3 gold
I
out of her
see.
own.
Athena.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm taking gold out of yours. And
Athena, I
So-
see your hand in your coin purse.
I'm not doing anything. And we'll pay the 6.
Athena, if you paid with your own money, you are going to wake up with a cold hand on your back. And I mean gold.
What?
I mean gold. Very gold.
Oh god. Ugh, well, I'm gonna have to stay up all night, I guess. Okay. Alright. She gives the ice out to everybody, and she turns to Sophia and she's like, thank you very much. Looks delicious.
No, thank you for your patronage. They certainly are popular, so I do hope you like them.
Seems like our friend Roja over there certainly likes them as well. He said he's visited multiple times.
Yes, he must really like them. Yes, he's had, what, 3, 4 already?
Wow, yes. Well, and she takes like a big bite, and it's obviously floored by the deliciousness that is shaved ice, because it's awesome. And we'll just like look up, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is delicious." Yeah, okay, all right. I'm gonna go scarf this down in like 2 seconds, but thank you very much.
Yes,
And
you
we'll kind
enjoy.
Have you
Hey,
guys
Gog.
had this before? This stuff is insane. This is delicious. They need to serve this everywhere.
Hagox looks at Saphira. Could I get one without the flavor?
Oh, just ice.
Yes, just ice. Please.
All right. Can't say I get that request often, but I suppose there's nothing against it. Well, it's just ice, so I suppose you can just have it for free.
And Kegox puts down 2 gold pieces.
Oh, you needn't pay double the amount for just ice.
It's more than just ice. To me.
Oh,
Thank you.
well, I suppose if you really want to, won't say no.
Now it's in a little bowl, right?
Yeah, she's got like these kind of like little like relatively thin kind of like reed bowls that she's kind of just giving out to people because it's all right if they don't come back.
He's holding the one that he was given from Anthena in his hand. He takes the ice one that's in his trunk, just the one that's just plain ice. He smiles at Saphira and he just plops the ice onto his head. And he is
Camille
the most,
giggles.
he is the most content elephant right now.
He deserves it.
Do ice packs exist in this world? I feel like we need to get Cake Rock some ice packs.
Leah will invent one.
Okay,
Oh.
awesome.
Speaking of Leah, you make your way over around the tables into kind of the shaded section, where Valeria is just kind of still watching, and he sees you approach and says, enjoying the festival then?
Enjoy, yes. It is rather sad, but I am enjoying it now. How are you faring?
Well, it is nice to look at. I'll say that. I've been just lingering here, uh, debating if I want to partake or not.
Um,
But thank you
well,
for the shaved ice.
yeah, of course. And she kind of like hands it to him, a little awkwardly. She kind of turns to look back at the jellyfish and says, "You know, we all set our lanterns out, and well, I wasn't sure if I could do it or not. But I did, and if you want to do it, I would be more than happy to assist, if that's the right word. Or in case if you'd like to distract yourself, I also know many jellyfish facts. So if you'd want to like to know those instead, I can also entertain with jellyfish facts.
Well,
If
I
you
won't
like.
say no to a good jellyfish fact, I suppose. But well, the reason I wasn't getting a lantern of my own, it's complicated, I suppose. It's strange. I have not seen this festival before, but seems they sent loved ones up into the sky. Yes.
Um, yes, usually ones that are no longer in our lives or have passed on.
Hmm. I'm there at the point where it's conflicted for me. You see, I was sitting here arguing with myself about whether or not I should light one for my parents. They're long passed on, so it's not so sad of an occasion. But I'm conflicted because, well, they weren't all that good to me and my sister. I'm not sure they deserve one.
Well, I think that has to do with what you're willing to see them as. I think post post mortem, not to be like that, but I think that if there were good memories and good things that you can think about, if that is something that you feel like you want to honor, then I would. But if they truly haven't given you any reason to mourn them, then I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, in truth, when I think of them, all I can think is father, drunkard, gambler, and my mother, absentee. It's not many fond memories. And so I sit here and I argue with myself about whether or not I should light one.
Well, if anything, it may sound silly, but I would light one not for the things that they did or didn't do, but for the fact that they let you and your sister come into this world. and that is a wonderful thing.
Hmm.
Um,
Suppose you're right. I do have them to thank for Alba.
exactly. And no, they don't sound like they're going to win an award for Parents of the Year, but they made you and Alba, and they, in their own way, led you here to grow up and be a good man, and your sister to be kind girl. And no, they might not have been good, but the things that you have done with your life post dealing with your parents, they had a little bit of an influence. Maybe not in a good way, but I think there's something to be thankful for, at least a little. If not for them, for the fact that you're here with us, and yep, that.
I see your point, and I do agree. I suppose I will light one after all. He kind of laughs to himself for a little bit and just shrugs his shoulders and says, I stood here arguing with myself for an hour now, and you walk along and win the argument in a couple of sentences. You're a scary one, Leo.
I don't know if I call myself scary, but I think that I have a lot of thoughts about parents and things like that, so I'm just glad that I could help.
Well, you have helped, and I thank you for that. And also for this. This is delicious. He's just
What did you
spoonful
Sorry,
of.
I was sneezing. What did you say?
He says, I thank you for that, and also for this. And he starts to spoon some of the watermelon shaved ice into his mouth. This is delicious.
Leah nods, and she's kind of eating her own, and she goes, "Have you never had it before? I have a few times, and it's always been wonderful. But Anthena mentioned that she's never had it before, so that makes me think that it's not really all that common."
I can't say that it is. It's certainly not a staple in Garani cuisine.
Well, perhaps you'll have to change that, now that you know of its deliciousness and capacity for freezing one's brain. Be careful, because you don't want to eat too much. Even though I am quite the ice expert, actually not really. If you eat too much, it'll hurt. So maybe don't do that. Don't eat it quickly.
Well, I'll take your advice then. But if you excuse me, I've a lantern to light. Thank you for your kind words, though.
Of course. Anytime, and I will be watching your lantern from the shore.
He gives you a little nod, makes his way down the beach.
On that note, you hear Anthena screeching because has horrible brain freeze and hasn't ever experienced this before.
No, Anthena!
Oh my god, am I dying? I'm dying!
Anthena, that is the yell of someone who has eaten too much shaved ice.
So glad I couldn't stop putting it in my...
Anthena, you must pace yourself. As for the rest of you, you must pace yourselves, please. It'll hurt if you eat too much too quickly.
Oh, but it's so good.
It is good, but Anthena, it is not worth the sanctity of your brain. Please.
I don't care about that. She's like clutching her head and still eating the apple.
Anthena.
Yes, just power through it.
You just gotta power through.
It'll only get worse, Anthena.
Nearby, Valerio has selected a lantern and he's riding on it. If anybody wants to look over his shoulder.
Leah
I do,
will try to
actually.
sneakily go on. She's really bad at it, but she'll try.
Um, he writes two names on the same lantern. He writes Benito and Teresa Velez. And then just under that, he just kind of quickly scrawls, "Thank you for giving me Alba." And then
God.
makes his way over to the beach.
Damn.
And
My message in
Surprise.
chat stands. If something
Let's it
happens to Alba, it's over.
oh, she's in a different continent. She's fine.
She's okay.
Oh, she better be.
She's chilling.
I noticed that Charity is here. Has she?
Mhm.
What's she been up to this whole? Like, did she light a lantern, or has she just been sitting?
Yeah, so now that you ask, Charity is surrounded by lanterns. She's got tons of them.
Oh my God! Stop. That's too much.
You can take a peek at them if you want.
I do want to look at them. But I'll do it. Anthena will try to do it subtly, but obviously that's not gonna work because if someone's staring at you, you will notice. But she
Mhm.
attempts to.
Yeah, so you kind of like drift a little over toward her, and can kind of take a peek at the lanterns that she has. None of them seem to like share any surname, so it's not as though she's like writing out an entire family's worth. But you're a little confused as to who they might be because they're all a bunch of names that you don't recognize, and then you actually recognize two, and it hits you what she's doing. The
Yeah.
two names you recognize are Templar August Devonshire and Captain Lucian Goldheart, who then, with those two names, makes you realize that she's writing out lanterns for everybody in the church graveyard.
Okay. And Theta, like, looking over the names and then obviously saying too that she knows, kind of like, there's like a half like gasp kind of awkward laugh thing, which I'm sure alerts Charity that she's looking at her. But she'll then kind of go up and putting it together is just like, I don't mean to interrupt or anything. I just want to say that what you're doing is really kind, and I'm sure that all of those people appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I like to think that they do as well. It's sort of become a bit of a tradition for me.
Well, that's really great of you. 'Cause I'm sure some of those people don't have someone to light a lantern for them anymore. So.
Yes, well,
actually-
it's... I like to think that it's, well, putting to good use the ledger we keep. Well, I suppose I should explain. In the church, we have a lot of patients that we treat, and, well, we're not able to remedy everything, and so lots of folk do pass away under our care. But we always document their last words. And we've got a big ledger of everyone who's passed away under our care and their last words, and we keep it all, well, in case family find them. And so I like to go through the ledger every year and write lanterns for them all.
That's really lovely. And Anthea kind of gets a little emotional again, thinking about, and not only her situation, but just how many people go through the same thing, and she'll kind of like get a little shy for a second. She'll be like, would you happen to have that ledger on you, or is that back at the church?
Well, actually, yes, I did bring it with me. I usually don't bring books to the beach, what with all the water and sometimes sand in the binding. But, well, don't have them all memorized. So, it does help to, remember spelling of surnames and all that, so... I do actually have it here with me, and she kind of unfolds. It's wrapped in like a towel to kind of shield it from the sand, but she does actually hold up a pretty thick ledger.
would you mind if I looked in it really quickly? I'm not sure if you remember, but one of the people you're lighting a lantern for, who I also just lit a lantern for, was a friend of mine, and you know, I know he kind of passed away under mysterious circumstances, which I'm still investigating. I promise. I haven't forgotten about the whole blackmail situation. It's just there's been a lot going on and not a really solid lead on it. But okay, yeah, I'll stop rambling about that. Could I read it for a moment?
Yes, of course, of course. Just, careful with the water.
Yes.
There's also,
and she,
there's also several open flames on the beach, so, don't take it too close to those.
yeah, and Theta will pick it up very delicately and purposely step back away from the water and any open flames. And we'll flip through it and try to find, of course, the name that she would recognize.
Yeah, so they're sorted kind of by year chronologically, and by date within those years. And so you kind of have to scan back a little bit through the book. But eventually you find a familiar name. And Charity's kind of she's nearby, so she's kind of watching you do that. And she says, "Right, I remember we spoke about him. We did write down," and she kind of points along the margin into a sort of larger little section where handwritten in ink is not by his hand but by somebody else's, some words written. And she says, "I never really learned, well, who he was speaking to. There wasn't any names. But, well, what you see there, those were his final words." Would you like to read them?
I would.
His final words are not addressed to anyone in particular. There's no names. But scrawled in that little neat handwriting is the words, "I hope you find your own crew, too."
Okay. I think Anthena kind of reads that and has to read it over and over and over again to kind of take the words in. And I think even without thinking about it, her eyes just immediately fill up with tears again, and they kind of just starts crying. But she looks up at Charity and she smiles. And Charity very gingerly closes the book, hands it back to her, and looks up and says, "Thank you. It was really hard for me to realize that I wasn't here when he passed, and so this kind of has made me feel like at least I know what was going on. So thank you for all the work that you do, all that you did for him, the fact that you light these lanterns and keep these logs. It's very thoughtful and is, I'm sure, appreciated by all those that you take care of. I mean,
Of course.
I don't...
I'm glad that it helped you to read them.
And she kind of sighs, and then just instinctually, her eyes kind of drift over to her friends, all gathered around. And she'll kind of look up. I'm sure she can't, still see her lantern, but pretends like she can. Looks up at the stars and the lanterns that have become one in the sky, and will kind of whisper under her breath, "I think I have." And will smile to herself, and maybe shed another tear, but more of a kind of closure and happiness than anything. and we'll look back to Charity and say, would you like me to help you release some of these lanterns or light them? I noticed you have a lot.
Yes, if you'd like to help, I've got quite a lot of work to do still. So how about I'll continue to write them and you can release them?
Sounds perfect. Thank you. And she'll go ahead and help her out.
Yeah, so she kind of sits back down on the little blanket that she's laid out for herself and continues working hard to write out all the lanterns. And then when she's done with them, she hands them to you.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
Athena, we'll let them go very, very softly, and we'll try to repeat the names, say the names of the people out loud, try to commit them to memory, but we'll probably fail to do that, but just to at least give them some type of recognition.
Yeah, she passes them along, and then eventually you actually get to August Devonshire.
Yeah, I think Anthena kind of pauses on that one, but we'll kind of lean into it and just be like, we met your friend, we met Yuna, and she misses you very much, and she thanks you for all that you've done for her, and I promise we'll look out for her, for you, and we'll let it go.
Yeah, you let that lantern join the stars in the sky, and Charity kind of looks over to you and says, "Was that a friend of yours?"
No, he, well, as I'm sure you know by his grave, he passed away long time ago.
Yes,
But,
that's why I was curious.
Yes,
You spoke as though you knew him.
I'd like to think in some way I kind of do, not in the traditional sense, but I guess really in the metaphorical sense. Through kind of an unfortunate mishap with a magical device that was no one's fault, really no one's fault. It happened completely by accident. We met this woman who's trapped in this kind of arcane prison. It's a long story. I honestly don't fully understand it myself, but apparently, this man, he used to visit her and keep her company and defend her from the various troubles in the place. And kind of sad. I think time works differently in there, and so she's kind of still waiting on him, and she doesn't know that he's passed.
I see. I think she picks the book up again. I think it might be in the ledger as well if you wanted to read it. That was long before my time, but we've been dictating these notes for quite some time. It's a rather old book.
Yeah, and she'll kind of flip through and try to find his name.
Oh yeah, so you gotta flip back quite a ways. But you kind of scan through. It takes a while. But judging by the rough time frame you were given, you can kind of zero in on a little bit, which makes it not take 3 days to find it. And so Charity keeps working as you kind of hunt through the book for a good 20 minutes. Just kind of looking through all of those years. And eventually then you finally see Devonshire, and you kind of almost go right past it, and then you stop and trace your finger back down to it. And there is, in fact, in a different hand, in very faded ink, along that margin, there is some words.
I read them.
It's a very short message. The final words are just, "I'm sorry, Yuna."
My God. Okay.
No. Ah!
Athena audibly makes a grunt, like she just got punched in the gut. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. Okay, alright. Okay. she'll commit those to memory. It's not that hard; it's 3 words, but we'll make sure that she memorizes that, and we'll gently place the book back to Charity, and we'll be like, thank you. It's obviously a very convoluted situation, but hopefully when we can eventually break the news to her that he has passed on, maybe his last words will bring her some comfort of some kind.
Yes, if you could pass it along, that would be nice. That's why we write them all down. And so you resume your work helping Charity release all the lanterns.
I think Athena has kind of come to this realization that she was like just denying a couple days ago, and kind of slips into this silence, and she's realizing that she really has to tell what happened, because even though she preferred to live in a world where the truth, where she didn't know the truth about the situation, it putting it in perspective of truly how long like she's been waiting for him, it's cruel and it's unfair to make her to have her live under these false assumptions out and about and gonna come back. So she kind of, I think, like stomachs that and is now just rehearsing the speech that she not only has to give to her friends to be like, yeah, I was wrong, we definitely should have told her, but also the speech that she will have to give to Yuna, and is gonna need some time to work that one.
Yeah, so you kind of do that as you're spending the rest of the time helping Charity finish the lanterns. But with you helping, it goes a lot faster. And so eventually she's finished. And she thanks you and says, I'm really grateful for your help. There's quite a few names in here. And how many lanterns did we actually do? A couple
I
hundred.
don't know. A couple hundred, yeah. That, I've never set off that many lanterns, but first time for everything,
It always takes me all night. Usually, by the time I'm finished, the sun is rising.
Ooh. Well, glad I could make it easier on you.
So you've helped quite a lot, and I thank you for that. And, well, your group has promised to help even further, so really, I cannot be more grateful for you all.
Yes, I promise we're working on all of it. It's, as I'm sure you know, it's a tough thing to figure out, but we will. We're gonna try to bring you and your church the respite that you need. Not fair.
And again, I thank you. But please don't let me keep you any longer. I'm grateful for your help, but to go enjoy the rest of the festival. It's getting quite late.
Thank you. You as well. And try some of the watermelon ice. It's actually really good, even though you get this weird like pain in your head. It's actually kind of worth it because it's delicious.
Well, typically I'm so busy doing lanterns that I've no time for even food or drink at all. But I suppose now that I'm done so early, I guess I will.
And then we'll give her a smile and then wander back to her friends.
And so yeah, you rejoin the group, and everybody is gotten a bit more shaved ice while you were busy. But
We wanted more shaved ice.
I spend my last
As
5
you
gold
should.
to get everyone ice.
Just ice?
No, I get just ice. Everyone else
Okay.
I get flavoring because they like
Okay.
that stuff.
Very
Yes,
well.
we like the flavor.
Then yeah, you dish out some more coin, and you all have even more watermelon shaved ice to eat. As parts of the festival have kind of dwindled down. You've been here a while, and so a lot of the people who kind of came to light their lanterns have gone. There are some people just sitting quietly, still enjoying the kind of the night air and the stars and the jellyfish drifting past. But the sort of larger crowd has dispersed. And so as you guys kind of join back in to your little group and are just quietly eating watermelon shaved ice and watching the jellyfish, what do you do?
Leah would like to attempt to get the group's attention, if possible. She just kind of waves her
What the
spoon
f-
awkwardly.
like a toast thing where they
Yeah, yeah.
but it's not
She's-
glass, so it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. She kind of looks a little stupid. But she's trying to get everyone's attention. She goes, excuse me, everyone. I hate to interrupt.
What's up, Leah?
Well, I thought I'd run it past you all first, but, well, I'd like to visit my old house at some point. I've been putting it off, but I think I need to go back. And I know we're busy, I know we have things to do, and I'd be willing to go by myself, but if it's alright, if it doesn't cut into our schedule, I would like to do that. Again, I can go if you all have things to do, because I know we are busy.
And Dana kind
but
of
if you-
interrupts you with to note, mouthful of shaved ice. Just goes, you're not going by yourself. You're not.
Yeah, you're not going by yourself.
Yes, I would not allow you to go by yourself.
She looks very pleased. Like she wasn't really expecting you guys to say yeah. She goes, "Oh, well, okay. Really, if you have things to do, like I said, I know we're on a tight schedule. But I do appreciate it. If you like."
The bank is not going anywhere. Take all the time you need. We
Well-
must savor the time that we have here. Is
And-
that not
and-
correct?
And Dana kind of like does an awkward laugh and like looks around and is like, and by bank, I mean you mean the bank of the river that we're gonna go hang out at, right? Yeah.
Yeah!
Not going anywhere.
Riverbank!
Yes,
River-
yes. I know we're on a tight schedule with our party boat idea.
Mhm.
So much better. Yes, but wait, guys, can we actually like get a party boat? That sounds like really fun.
Yes, I think we should do that. I agree. We should get a
Like a
party boat.
large canoe. Yes, a large canoe.
Okay,
I will-
guys, there
I
are
will-
boats
I will
that are so
start-
much bigger than canoes.
I will get to work on a much larger canoe. And he starts like looking around for trees.
Valerio says, I will meet you all back at the Quipper. I've been tailing the bank manager, and I have stuff to discuss. He kind of like drops his voice when he says that to you guys.
Valeria's the smart one.
We'll meet you back there. Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Well, you did ask me to.
We did.
Asked
You
me
all-
to tail the party boat that we're all
Party
going.
boat. too.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
He just kind of like laughs and goes, all right, the party boat. But anyways, I'll meet you all back at the Quipper. And he departs. And Camille says, actually, if you wouldn't mind, Leah, I have somewhere I should be.
Right. My apologies. I didn't necessarily mean this evening. But of course, if you have things to do, I won't stop you.
There's just someone I need to talk to.
All right.
Can I do any type of insight check to kind of read her, like her face when she says that, like if it's a
Sure.
positive or a negative?
Can I also do an insight check?
Yeah, both of you guys can.
Me, the player, can take a guess, but Anthena has no idea. 18. Ooh, wait, why did that roll twice? Sorry, I don't know. Interesting.
Let's
Take this one.
go.
She kind of like her face gets a little red when she says it. Both of you can tell that. Sarisa, you had a private conversation with her. And you know a little bit more about what she was talking about, so I'll extend what you know a little further, especially because you got a 23. So in comparison, so you also see that she's kind of, she blushes slightly. But when she says she needs to talk to someone, you connect that back to when she trailed off before. And remember how she mentioned that she's not even told that person all of these things that she tries to do but wasn't able to. So you connect that kind of circle together, and realize that that's what she's probably going to go and do.
Cerisa will let all know. When it kind of like connects in her little brain, and she'll give Camille a thumbs up, but won't say anything.
But thank you all again for helping tonight.
Yes, of course, Camille, she says after finishing her shaved ice.
Yeah,
Anytime,
Athena's
Camille.
been great. She smiles.
You needn't thank us. We are family.
Well, I'll see you all back at the Quipper. And she smiles kind of genuinely and gives you guys a wave as she walks off.
So, where to next?
Do you think I can get something for Cobalt?
Ooh. Do you mean like, can Kobold eat shaved ice?
Gran, can Cobalt eat shaved ice?
Well, I'm not sure that he's ever tried it.
He could.
Hmm.
Physically, he could.
He could try it, but I'm also thinking Cobalt needs fed.
Mm.
Is there just shaved ice here, or is there like food?
Well, Saphira is selling shaved ice, but there are also like stalls set up for like actual food. There's also somebody who's selling like bathing suits as well, but that's neither here nor there.
We're selling what?
Bathing suit. I guess we.
Would have
This-
been helpful, like,
It
couple
would've
minutes.
Just a little bit.
Dang, we missed out on the bathing suits, guys.
Hey, look, I was sitting right there. If you guys didn't see it, that's not on me.
Dang. No bathing suits.
Listen, we had
We go in
salt
naked.
water in our eyes. We could not perceive what was
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, the waves were hitting me in the eyes.
Directly in
From-
the eye.
from the
Only the
store.
eyes. Only
Yeah.
the
But-
eyes.
Yep.
But yes, Sarisa, there's tons of food. There's an entire like roasted pig as well.
Damn.
Ooh, Cerisa's like, guys, we didn't see that roasted pig. And she's like,
I see it now.
like, you think we can get some of that?
Why not?
Yes.
What will it be better than the watermelon ice? Anthena says with her mouth, like, I'm assuming
Yes.
it's like red dye, so she's got like a little bit of watermelon dye in her mouth. It does not realize.
You don't think it'd be awkward if I asked for something, more, I don't know, raw?
Excuse me, have you got any raw pig lying around?
Hey, pig, you haven't roasted yet?
Well, if I say it's for my flying pet snake, Cobalt. Wait a minute. She like, I'll just say pet snake. They don't need to know that he flies.
It's probably not the weirdest thing.
What? Doesn't everybody have a pet snake? And then she's just gonna walk off.
I don't have a pet snake.
I don't have a pet snake either. And Dina, I must talk to you.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, like talk like this, and then she'll message you, talk like this.
I cannot message it. We have to speak. We
Wait.
must speak.
I can okay, alright.
And Dina. My brain is not working properly.
Are you having some kind of episode?
What's your opinion about Valerio?
She kind of like cocks her head at you. She's like, well, he seems very nice and very competent. I think. I mean, we haven't heard the
That's
what he has to say. Yeah, it's something. He's a very good bard, from the little that I've heard. We'll see if he's good at tailing people. Let's see it to be found out.
I meant, perhaps. Never mind. I didn't want to ask. I'm walking away now. I'm leaving.
Okay. Well, she's
Athena,
gone.
I don't know what to do. Athena, no.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Oh. Athena, I feel very conflicted emotions. This evening, I don't know what to do, Athena.
She's gonna kind of like look at you, and like look up, look down, fiddle with her necklace. Just go, okay, my dear, I am not sure I am the best person to give advice about this.
It's not like I can ask anyone else.
That's kind of true.
Who am I meant to ask? Teresa, who has two men fawning over her and has no idea, and Gaunt, who, well, is not exactly the best with words.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably yeah. All right, okay. She again like fully racking her brain and trying to decide on something uplifting to say. We'll kind of look up at you, and her expression, it kind of like hardens a little bit, and not in a mean way, in like a very serious. And she just goes, I'm not gonna pretend like I have all the answers, because I don't, because life makes no sense, and it kind of sucks like a lot of the time, but also it's really beautiful in a lot of ways. And so, I honestly, I don't know if this is gonna be really inspiring, but I'm just gonna tell you that everything is really short, and there's so many unpredictabilities to life that you just kind of have to do things sometimes. And even if it's kind of illogical, or you haven't thought it through, or you're really nervous, you should just do it, because you never really know when, you're not, for example, not gonna see somebody ever again, or there's gonna be some kind of apocalypse. I don't know, something crazy. So, all of that to say, do what you want to do, and well, I don't want to say you shouldn't overthink it, because you have to think through some things. I'm not saying be an idiot, but like, I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta try, and then you won't.
Yes, but the question is what do I do about this, Athena?
What do you mean exactly?
What to do, Athena?
I'm really not sure how I can help you here, Leah.
Athena, I can't ask the others for advice. I only you. I can.
Why me? Why I'm a horrible example? Oh,
If I walk up to Teresa, okay, guys, I go, hey, I think I have thoughts about Valerio. What do I do? They go, oh, you should ask him out on a date and then bring him raw meat and ignore
What?
him forever.
whoa.
What are things they would say?
Let's revisit the. Okay, all right. Deep breaths. All right, look at me.
Yes.
Actually, don't look at me. Okay,
Oh, okay.
okay.
Leah turns around.
Shit, no, I don't mean like. Oh my god. She'll like manhandle you back to look at her. Okay, all right. So from the most limited experience that I have, and again, I really am not the ideal person to be talking to about this, because anyway, you just, you gotta become friends with somebody, and you just gotta spend time with them, and then if something's meant to happen, it'll happen, or you'll never see each other again, but, don't think about that, that's not gonna happen, no.
Lena, am I a terrible person for going from moaning about my father to being excited to bring him shaved ice? I don't know. I'm a terrible person at the end.
No, that's, okay, don't, alright, that's ridiculous, that's the most ridiculous thing that you've ever said. You are a person, well, you're an elf, but you're a person. And people contain vast multitudes of emotions and thoughts and just systems, and you can feel two things at once. You can be grieving somebody and feel the loss of that while also being happy or excited about something else, and it's not, doesn't make you a bad person, it doesn't diminish either emotion, it's just how we work. I mean, if you only felt one emotion at a time, can you imagine how horrible that would be? Like, that's not how life works.
I suppose you're right. I'm just surprised is all. I apologize for springing this on you so suddenly. I'm really very sorry. It just came to me and I went, I don't like this. I must tell someone.
Yeah. If there's one thing you should learn from me, it's you should always tell someone something. So
Wonderful, and then I will promise not to think about never seeing anyone again. Like you said, I will follow your advice.
oh no, wait, no. Ignore like the majority of what I said and just like the really profound parts that were like actually inspirational and like actually coherent. And
What
not
parts?
any of the...
What parts was that?
Oh my god, you're really gonna, just be yourself and don't let your brain get in the way of acting and just do what makes you happy. There
Well,
you go.
he did say he would never turn down a jellyfish fact, so perhaps if I were to offer him jellyfish facts, that would work, I think.
And Tina kind of like cocks her eyebrows. She's like, well, yeah, okay. If
Who doesn't
he
want to hear
said,
about jellyfish fact? And he was interested about the jellyfish fact, which
if
by
he-
extension means that he's interested in fish, which by extension.
right, yes, yeah, that's what that means.
That's it!
Yeah,
Wonderful! Great.
it's great. It's a great plan.
Wonderful. I will think of my best jellyfish
Your
fact.
best jellyfish. Yeah, maybe
Yes.
maybe run it by me first, just if you can. Just so I can kind of proofread it, make sure it's not some like insane jellyfish fact, like they, I don't know, like kill their mate or something, or like, like something that's gonna be like a little bit off-putting.
Well, I was going to offer the idea that jellyfish actually eat and excrete from the same orifice. That was interesting.
So maybe not that one. Do you have like a cute one, like, oh, like they, they have friends or something?
I don't really have friends.
They don't travel in packs.
You can eat some of them. Perhaps.
I guess that's better, but not particularly. Maybe think on it. Maybe study
All
up.
right. Yes, I will think about it.
Run it by me.
Okay.
Like she sticks a finger in your face. I need to hear it first, and then go ahead.
All right. I'll think about it. And she pulls out like a notebook and she's like writing down different jellyfish facts.
And Dana
yeah,
kind of
so-
looks at you and is like huffs, but in a very like I don't know, what do you say, affectionate way. She's not laughing at you.
Yes. Understood.
Yeah, so as you guys discuss that and kind of slowly wander your way back to the group, Cerisa and Kigox, you guys make your way over to the food table. There is, as I said, a roast pig. And it seems like everybody's kind of grabbing these like little plates woven from reeds and grabbing a bit of food for themselves, each kind of taking just enough for themselves and not being greedy and taking massive amounts of food. But it doesn't seem like it's not like they're selling it or anything like that.
Yes.
Sort of just here for everybody who's attending the festival.
Let's go. Alright, Cerisa's seeing that nobody is taking out their wallet and is just taking out food. It's like, yes. Booyah. Free food. Nice. And then she makes his observation and says, well, Kgox, looks like we're in luck. We don't have to pay, but be mindful, don't take too much food. Alright? That'd be rude.
I was going to get some for Leah and Anthena.
That's acceptable, yes.
And Kgox makes a point to whoever's like manning the table that the one he's holding in his trunk is for him, and the two in his hands are for two other people.
Yeah, the woman who's manning it just says, yes, of course, if you're taking some for your friends, you can grab extra plates.
And he does. And then he's gonna wander over to them.
Yeah, okay. Who was it that said that? Oh yeah, alright, Cerisa's gonna approach and she's like, also, do you have anything that would be good for, a pet snake? And she motions to a cutie patootie.
Oh, well, when I had a snake familiar in the past, I would always feed it rats. I'm afraid we don't have those on hand, but I'm sure it wouldn't turn up its nose at some of the roasted pork.
She'll turn to Cobalt and be like, is that okay with
Cobalt
you?
is wrapped around one of the horns on your headpiece.
Oh my god, that's so cute! Oh, they're so cute! Okay, she will look up at Cobalt and say, would you like to try some of the roast pork, Cobalt?
Cobalt just kind of slowly nods his head, not looking away from the roasted pig.
Alright, sounds like he's interested. And so she will get some for herself, she'll get some food for herself, and then she'll... what you doing there, Cobalt?
He's just looking.
You just looking?
He's measuring.
But she will also grab a portion suitable for Cobalt.
Yeah, so yeah, you grab some pork for Cobalt as well.
Right.
And have your own little plate.
Yep. And she'll step away just a little and then offer some to Cobalt.
Yeah, you can toss it up in the air if you want. You'll catch it.
Dude, yes. Cerisa will toss it up in the air.
Yeah, so you toss it up in the air and he unfolds the wings and quickly snaps it up out of the air. His tail is still coiled around your horn, but the rest of him kind of uncoils and whoops up to grab it, and then he uses his tail to pull himself back down and around your horn.
That is so freaking cute, Gran. Oh my god. I'm gonna have cute aggression because of the snake.
But he seems to like it, and you try some yourself if you want, Sarisa.
Yeah, let me have
And
some.
yeah, it's quite delicious. It's pork roasted over a fire with kind of a rub of spices that's permeated into the meat, and it's very juicy, very delicious.
Mmm. Mmm. And she'll wait till Kobolt's like, doesn't have a mouthful. And she's like, "Did you like it, Cobalt?"
Cobalt is like still got like completely stuffed with food, and he just doesn't say anything back because he's still trying to swallow it all,
I'll
and
take that as a yes.
just nods.
Yeah. And you're so talented too. Yes, you are, Cobalt.
Cobalt just kind of like flutters his little ear fins.
He. And then Cereza realized that she's by herself, and she's like, wait, where's Leah and Athena? Wait, where'd Kgox go? And she's who should she go towards first? Leah and Athena or Kgox? I think she's gonna go towards Leah and Athena.
Well, you can just all regroup if you want. I did say they were coming over.
I'm still talking about jellyfish facts.
This is a deep conversation.
Deep
But, yeah.
conversations about jellyfish are happening.
We'll just say that you all sort of regroup
Nice.
over here. And so as you all kind of gather, you're kind of slowly eating some of the food and watching the festival dwindle down. What would you guys like to do next?
Did we want to go? I don't think we wanted to go to Leah's house tonight, probably. We should probably just go back to the Quipper, maybe, to find out about the bank manager. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think the Quipper is good.
You did also arrange a meeting tonight after the festival.
Oh, with the bomb guy. Yeah, okay, all right, we gotta go, we gotta go.
Right.
I have a question before we skedaddle. Do you think any like souvenir stalls will still be open?
Yeah, as you kind of would walk back out, if that's what you guys are doing, you would see that there's still kind of some vendors who have been selling their stuff. A lot of the stuff has kind of dwindled down. People have bought up some stuff, but there's still quite a few stalls that are not packed up yet, and are just kind of sticking around for the last dregs of the crowd. But there's all sorts of like little trinkets, so like you tell me what you're looking for, and maybe they'd have it. They've got basically anything that kind of relates to the festival. They've got little like trinkets relating to. So they've got little like woven bracelets that have little wooden charms that look like jellyfish. They've got all sorts of things like that.
Oh my gosh, Gran, you read my mind. Took the thought and just...
I'm a divination wizard.
Yes, you are, Gran. Yeah, she'd probably be looking for a bracelet, and she might be, How do you describe that motion where you're kind of just bobbing back and forth? Like, she wants to ask something, and she's also, like, twiddling her thumbs. She's like, well, I know we said we had, a meeting and such. Is it alright if I quickly go buy a souvenir for Ulrid as an
As a what? Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We don't really have a specific meeting with that guy. We just said kind of like hang out, so I think it'll be fine.
Yes. And she'll be like, what should I get? What should I get over it? Hee. Something gold, obviously. Hee.
So unless anybody has anything else they want to do on the festival grounds, you guys can kind of make your way up off the beach back into the street that's sort of lined with vendors for Sarisa to look for something.
Yes. Yes, please.
Since everyone's shared something, Kagox kind of like clears his throat before we go to the shop, if this is okay.
Mhm.
If this is okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yep.
He tries to draw their attention to a star that is very, very far up. It's not too bright, but not too dim. And he just tries to draw their attention to it.
Hmm? What is it, Kagox? What we looking at? And she looks up.
That is our star. And he points. And he's still smiling because this is a good memory for him. The night that Disri and I were betrothed, we chose a star in the sky. And whenever we would look at the sky when we are far apart, we always knew that that was there, and it was ours. And it's still there.
I think Anthena kind of like. It's a night of tears. Her eyes kind of well up again as she's looking at you, look at the sky, and we'll kind of just like pat you on the arm and just repeat you, just like, and it's still there.
And it's still beautiful. I just thought you should see it.
Cerise is just already crying. She's like, oh, thank you for sharing with us, Kagox.
Maybe on the way back to Quipper, you could tell us some stories of you and her, so we can share in your fond memories.
Yeah.
Yes, please. We'd love to hear them, Kagox.
I've never had anyone to really share them with other than her and my son. I would like that. If you'd want to listen, that is. And he just kind of chuckles.
Of course.
Yeah.
I
So
am,
you guys.
I am thankful for you all.
Well, we're thankful for you too. Thankful for all of you. Yeah. And she kind of like very quietly under her breath is like, "You guys are my crew." Ugh.
Does
And-
Leah hear that?
But,
They're standing
yeah.
right next to each other.
Yeah. She tries to like, but no, she does say it audibly. You can hear it, but is a
Leah
little
gives
embarrassed because
Anthena a hug.
Anthena takes the hug.
Oh, I scoop up everybody in a big hug.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a big,
Oh.
hairy elephant hug.
Yes.
And so as Kagox eventually pets everybody down,
Eventually.
you all turn your attention and kind of one last look at the sea of stars before turning back towards the street to leave the festival. And you wind your way along the kind of larger road where a bunch of the vendors were. And so, Sarisa, you scan through them as you walk, looking for something that might catch your eye. So you tell me what you find, because there's enough of a variety that as long as it's vaguely related to the festival, I think you could find it.
Ooh, I
It's
like
right near the
idea.
Artisan's Quarter, after all.
Ooh, booyah. I like the idea of the bracelet, but she's specifically looking one that has little gold jellyfish on them.
Bro, are you looking for like a solid gold bracelet, or are you looking for something that's like...
Yeah,
know?
it could be like, you know, like
Okay.
the color gold. It doesn't have to be a solid gold jellyfish, bro. That makes
Yeah, or just like some light kind of gold leaf plating across it.
Yeah.
Maybe on the charm itself.
Yeah. On the charm itself.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Then yeah, you scan around. You eventually find someone who's kind of making little handmade jewelry, weaving bracelets and things like that. And you spot a little kind of glint out of the corner of your eye in the last little light of some of those lanterns in the sky, and there's a little bracelet with a charm on it that's glinting gold in the shape of a little jellyfish.
Ooh. Yeah, I spot that and I'm like, hee hee, this will be perfect. Hee hee.
Yeah, you
Oh.
you speak with the merchant a little bit, and at first they tell you that it's 3 gold, but you can haggle them if you want.
3 gold. How about 2 gold?
Well, I don't know. It does take a little bit of time to get all the little tentacles on the charm. You can roll it like a persuasion if you want.
Yeah, booyah. Alright, persuasion.
High five, so.
Wait, where's persuasion? Oh my god, I'm...
Alphabetical.
Ah, there we go. Oh my god. Oh my god, it is alphabetical.
Always has been.
Always has been. Okay, do I use guidance? Can I use guidance?
Yeah, as long as it's on that list of stuff there, then you can guidance it.
Oh, wait, what does that mean?
Like, I mean that vertical list of your skills.
Oh, okay. Do I use
can guide-
guidance
you can-
first?
Yeah, you can
Or-
guidance anything on that list, basically. I let you do it on the con save just because it wasn't like a real con save. I was just doing a roll.
Aw, okay. So, persuasion. And guidance. Oh wait, beams. How do I roll this?
Just roll a d4 on the bottom left there.
Bam. Booyah.
All right. Yeah. So with a 17, you can tell me what you say, or we can just make it up if you want. What particularly persuasive argument you make, but if you can't think of one, that's all right.
I'm sorry, Gran. I'm too dummy. I can't.
You kind of like look it up and down. You appraise it a little bit. You squint your eyes. You look close. You give them the full show, right? You show that you kind of you've seen gold work before, right? And so you
Yeah.
kind of use your expertise to kind of point out a few things. And then you mentioned that 3 gold pieces is more gold than someone would use to even make this charm in the first place. So they're absolutely scamming you. And then they're like, all right, fine, but don't say that too loud. Keep your voice down, and I'll let you have it for 1.
Perfect. I won't say a word. And I will hand them 1 gold.
You hand over the gold, and they hand you the bracelet.
I'm so sorry, sir.
And with this, Ulrad will surely not be upset with me. I mean, yay, souvenir!
That was clocked by everyone.
Dang.
We heard that.
Yeah, so
What
you
is a
tuck.
souvenir?
But yeah, you tuck that away somewhere safe, Sarisa. And I suppose the party, you set your sights back on the Quipper?
Yeah.
Is that a yes across the board?
Yeah.
Yes.
Very well. Yeah, so you eventually kind of escape from the crowd and are just in the darker nighttime streets. And you head your way back to Quipper.
Oh, excuse me.
But I think we can wrap up there because we're right at time anyway.
Yeah.
And so next time we'll return to the Quipper and we'll speak with Valerio and Rourke.
Swag.
We'll discuss building a bomb
Booyah.
in
Bomb.
Dungeons and Dragons. Twitch admin. In Dungeons and Dragons, building a
That's
bomb.
right.
Not any
In the
other
game.
place. In a fictional bomb.
Yeah, fictional bomb.
Yeah. So we will call it there because it's a good wrap point, and we're right at time anyway. All right, let's head over here. Game only chat. Yeah, exactly. So let's get some cozy music.
Yay.
Does anything interfere with next week going back to a normal Wednesday?
Not that I can think of.
Wait, what's next week?
What is the date? It's the beginning of
It's the
August.
31st.
Oh,
31st.
no, it is not.
Ooh, I might be having my summer event next week.
I am.
Yeah, I finished the summer outfit, guys.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. thing- Yeah.
Oh, sorry, but
No, no,
I was
you're
just gonna say. So, is that like a full week thing, or like just that
Yeah,
day, or
It was gonna be a full week. of
streaming every
summer-
night?
Yeah, summer fun.
Okay.
Smile.
Yeah. Then yeah, we can take that week off then if you've committed it to your summer event.
Yeah.
Very well. All right. Well, so we'll say no. No Gaunt's Gold next week then.
Sorry, guys.
But maybe I'll see if I can get another chemistry. If not, whatever. We'll see. See if I have an idea. If inspiration strikes me, we'll do one. If not, then we won't. We'll do something else instead. But yeah, that's all for tonight. As for the week looking forward, I might do something on Thursday, just maybe map making or something else if I have a good idea. And then Saturday, same time as last time, we'll be getting back into Elden Ring seamless co-op with Rika, who's here, and Seraphim and Bluefin. It was a really good time last time, so
Mhm.
I encourage you to drop by because it was really funny, and I ended up really liking the characters that we were playing.
Yeah.
And Joan's dynamic with Aura was really funny.
It was really fun, I will say.
So yeah, watch that. We're doing like a kind of like very loose Elden Ring RP play where we play characters and with weird builds and play through the game. That Rick and Seraphim have no knowledge of the game, so they're playing blind. And me and Bluefin have beaten it multiple times, so we're sort of the NPCs in the background. We're the we're the sidekicks who are guiding them in lore compliant immersive ways through the game. So yeah, tune into that 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. That'll be a good time. It's very, very fun, and I'm excited. And if you've not seen it, go watch Joan of Dark's emo anime AMV that she made. She made it. I didn't make it. She made it. It's on my Twitter.
It's-
Go watch
It's really good, guys.
it. Listen, she thinks it's cool, okay? So don't be mean.
She thinks it's cool.
Just because she
It
likes
is-
Shadow
it
the
is
Hedgehog
cool.
and stuff like that. So
Yes. And
Well,
she's
she just-
real for that.
yeah, she's just got interesting tastes, okay? Don't make fun of
Yeah,
her or she'll
no.
cry.
I'm not. She's got the best taste ever.
No, it's
Shadow Hedgehog is fucking awesome.
I love Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, so tune into that on Saturday if you want to see more Joan. She's interesting. She's a bit of a mess. She's alright. She's getting there. So yeah, that's what's coming up for the week, and hope to see you there. Other than that, thank you players for playing. It's always a good time, and keep always count on you guys for some good RP. And thanks, chat, for watching. Apologies, players, for emotionally harming you.
Yeah, it's not
It's
cool.
okay.
I feel like I need to start adding that to the end of every session, but this
It's
one in
chill.
particular was a bit of a rough one, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, not cool. Not cool.
But it needed to be done.
Not cool, bro.
This was supposed to be the beach episode. You
We're
know,
subverting that's what modern writers like. We're subverting expectations.
Yep.
That's a popular thing nowadays, isn't it?
I mean, it was an episode on the beach, so
Yeah,
technically.
yeah, that's true. It was a beach episode.
no, that's not what we went
No.
in there with. We drew on the map. There was a happy octopus. I was playing
Maybe
in the
there
water.
was a happy octopus that you didn't see.
Hey,
But-
listen,
We'll have that.
I got a whole entire other map for the beach when it's not a festival, and you guys just haven't used it yet. So
We have so much to do. We have so many side quests. We can't
many
have a
things.
beach vacation. This was our one respite, and now we gotta get back to work.
We can visit the beach at least once. Come on now.
If it's quest relevant, sure.
Someone's gotta ask us to collect seashells now.
What's that rhyme? You need an NPC named, what is it, Sally? She needs to tell us to collect seashells.
anyway, so that's the end of the stream for tonight. Thank you all for joining me. Thanks for the resubs and the follows and everything. Very kind of you. And hope that you all have a good night. You guys can feel free to say goodnight as well, my players.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, chat.
guys. Night night.
Take care. Go to bed. Sleep tight. Love you, chat. Kisses you on the forehead and tucks you in. Good night.
So kind.
Wow.
Take care, chat.
Okay.